Oh, a little bit offside. Hello, and welcome everybody to tonight's fantastic, amazing dinosaur action using an absolutely massive dino behind me, the Tarrasque. Legendary creature, dinosaur. Scary if it lands, if it gets to attack. I don't know how much that's going to happen tonight, but as it always is with me, usually Stampede Dinosaurs on Magic the Gathering Arena in the Pioneer format, best of 3. List as always in the description, and if you're brand new, you might be brand new, ask any question in the video after. Perhaps it airs. I mean, most of you might be asleep. Hopefully everybody's had a good week so far. It feels like Friday because I'm not working tomorrow, but yeah, hopefully you've had a good week, or even if you had a bad day, we're gonna have a good time right here as always. Now let me get that background reset. I'm a little bit bigger. I had to compensate a little bit for the massive, absolutely massive Tarrasque. I mean, it's a little bit smaller right behind there, but yes, Mad Dad Lab, let's go. Absolutely. Okay, 1 second. Resize. And if anybody's wondering, well, I'll try to pre-record, possibly maybe get some matches on my phone, but I'll be not streaming, officially not streaming. I know some nights I just pass out and sleep is good, but for the next week or so, I won't be streaming. Probably. I might try something out, but yeah, and we'll see. It's going to be a good time. Dinosaurs not going anywhere, at least for me. And yeah, the Tarrasque specifically, I might make a separate video comparing this and other big dinosaurs and other big creatures. Now, I don't think the Tarrasque is perhaps the best big thing that I could be using for me, but I had a fantastic request and I'm always happy to oblige with those whenever possible. I was sometimes playing other games, the TCG card shop simulator. I'll get back to that at some point, but for tonight, the Tarrasque, lovely stuff. As it is with Stampede Dinos, very easy to make a big amount of mana in the most stable way because it's lands. I think that makes a lot of sense. Get to the big stuff and you usually don't have to worry. If the opponent has, kill spells, they can't kill a land. They can, depending on some very specific spells that you would never see, and then sometimes Field of Ruin. But again, for the most part, it's the most stable way to do that, and I definitely appreciate it. So Sunken, the castle, the Tarrasque does cost 9. It's a pretty fine creature, though. We'll get there, potentially, but I think for the most part, we're going to be looking to have Ghalta put the Tarrasque on the battlefield. Hopefully, the Tarrasque does get haste with Regisaur or Palani, because it has haste in Ward 10 as long as it was cast, not as long as it enters. So I might hold the Tarrasque back just in case I do want to get that haste and ward, but if it does get haste, and I don't expect that the opponent's going to have removal, I'll put this down with Ghalta. Everybody's going to get to attack. The Tarrasque is going to get to attack, and well, this fights a creature defending player controls. So nice little. Oh my goodness! I've got. If it shows up there, I got my massive cup of coffee. That's not going to be the only yawn, I think. Had some fantastic Chinese food for supper tonight. Hopefully, I would think I'm going to be feasting on opponents, and the Tarrasque is going to feature in that. But going back to this again, it's not like I need what the Tarrasque does. If it's entering and it attacks and I fight a creature, chances are there's a suite of big creatures and it was already going to beat the opponent because their stuff is not as big as my stuff. I'm just going to bust right through. It could come into effect a little bit. I wish maybe the Tarrasque could fight 2 creatures or up to 2 creatures. It is such a big body that, it would be reasonable to see that line changing. And then hopefully we get to hard cast it, and we get the haste and ward 10. Oh, scary stuff indeed. I don't think anybody would ever expect to see the Tarrasque hard casted, boom, in a dinosaur deck. It's crazy, but I do like to keep things as serious as possible. However, when you do one thing, when you've done it as much as I have, thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of games of dinos, you have time to have a little bit more of a fun once in a while. And, well, other than that, still a lot of graveyard hate with Cease and Desist and Leyline of the Void there. So hopefully it continues to scare away the Greasefang decks. I don't actually believe that, but it's just fun to think, hey, I brought in so much graveyard hate, the algorithm is going to see it, and it's going to simply make me not face Greasefang. One of Ghalta Primal Hunger, yes, definitely. I have to imagine just a single copy of Ghalta Primal Hunger, or, well, all 4 copies of Ghalta Primal Hunger could be better than the 4 copies of the Tarrasque. Of course, that's pretty crazy stuff. Again, if you're new, you might think this is a crazy looking deck, but you're about to see that's not the case. Of course, I could face all aggro tonight. That would be pretty darn rough, but yeah, a one-off Ghalta Primal Hunger would be good. The fight, absolutely. It could be that maybe Regisaur Alpha, the Tarrasque. The opponent wants to take out Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, but the Tarrasque and Regisaur Alpha were put down with Ghalta's ability, so the Tarrasque would still get to attack, fight a creature. Of course, there are many big creatures, decently sized, that have fighting attached, and sometimes they get to fight multiple creatures. Thorn Mammoth is probably one of my favorites. Whenever another creature enters under your control, Thorn Mammoth gets to fight something, and Ghalta puts out a lot of creatures. If Thorn Mammoth is part of that package, there would be a lot of triggers for it. I could fight multiple creatures in a single turn compared to the single creature of the Tarrasque. Bodo. Oh boy, we got a mythic opponent, likely in some form of black with that Shieldred avatar. The first hand was rough. This one, it's slightly better. With the Sunken Citadel and the Castle Garenbrig, maybe there's a no. That's better as well. We do have to send 2 to the bottom, hoping to go off with, Witch's Oven. And they will likely have that Cauldron Familiar. This could get a little bit dicey. Okay. Rakdos Sacrifice, black and red, unfortunately. And not a crazy start for the opponent, but I think we got to skip over to Sylvan Scrying. Possibly. You know what? We're going to grab the Sunken. Next turn, I won't be able to play Archdruid's Charm. I will be playing Sunken Citadel. It enters tapped. I won't have 3 green, but I want to get more used to and doing this more often, just going a touch slower with the Sunken. If I had another land in my hand, I probably would have done things a little bit differently. Grabbing a land that would, enter untapped. This could be rough. Especially Mad Dad Lab. I get flooded. Sometimes I'm able to make 9 quite easily for the Tarrasque. Sometimes it gets to 10. So a top deck Tarrasque, hard casting it. I have to admit, that's a pretty good top deck, a game-changing one. If I oftentimes have enough to play it, boom, haste, ward 10, fight. I'm gonna think about it. Well, this is, speaking of game-changing, I like it. Next turn we'll be able to make 8. If by some miracle I top deck a Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, there's a very good chance that the opponent could just be dead. No. Fatal push, folks. Oh boy. I know, it is very funny. Mad Dad Lab, I mean, they see a few lands and they think, Palani's Hatcher is going to be the creature coming up. That's not the case. It's reasonable that they would make that mistake, but this deck is not very common. If they were more familiar, they definitely would have gotten rid of probably something else. Again, now we just have to hope that, well, you know what, I should probably, no, we'll get Sunken. Just on the off chance we draw Ghalta. I'd be kicking myself if I draw Ghalta and I didn't grab a Sunken. I was thinking of going Commercial District, but I already have my nice play, at the very least, with that Tyrranax Rex. Although, I mean, we're mostly dead to the Mayhem Devil triggers. Basically dead. Yeah, no, that, oh boy, oh shucks. And it's also going to be kind of rough with Palani's Hatcher specifically. Whenever somebody sacrifices a creature or a permanent, I believe, for the Mayhem Devil, 1 damage to any target. Oftentimes Palani's Hatcher gets pinged, but also sacrificing that egg, the dinosaur egg, that's not a may. I'm forced to do it so that we get an extra point of damage, and it's a little rough, possibly. Leyline of the Void. I mean, they certainly got the job done quite nicely. The Blood-Tithe Harvester, the Mayhem Devil. You know what? We'll keep the Tarrasque in. I want to keep the Tarrasque in as much as possible, even if it might not be the most wise choice, just because I want to see the Tarrasque coming down enough. If I'm always cutting the Tarrasque going into game 2, there's a pretty low chance that we're going to see it on the battlefield tonight. But I'm just glad I didn't have to mulligan with that. Oh, Thoughtseize. Oh boy. Oh shucks. We only need to see a Castle Garenbrig, and I will be able to make 8. It could be a Commune to get the castle, dig for it. They might continue to get rid of Palani's Hatcher, which is the absolute wrong thing to do. Okay, well, continue to allow me to get to that absolutely massive... Oh, it's a little bit too late for that. There's the darn Cauldron Familiar. Pretty rough stuff, but... you know what? Yeah. We'll get Archdruids for Castle Garenbrig. I was thinking of doing things a little bit differently there, but I'm pretty sure there's a good chance we should be drawing something next turn that will play for 6 or 7. I would hope. Oh, we've got Sephiroth also. Pretty rough. A nice new addition from Final Fantasy there. Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier. Whenever it enters or attacks, they may sacrifice another creature. If they do, draw a card. Whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and they gain 1 life. That's not good. If it's the 4th time this ability has resolved, they transform Sephiroth. But I was so excited reading Sephiroth's ability. I just I didn't use Archdruid's Charm, sadly. Well, we won't make that mistake again. That is also why I put some stops. 2nd main phase and the end phase, just to give myself a extra prompt. But watch me get another land next turn. That would be pretty rough stuff. Somebody. And I was about to say Vaultborn Tyrant. Hopefully. I want to draw more cards. I want to gain life. A big thing. Maybe they can kill it. Maybe they can't. But they're in for... yeah, we'll see. That Sephiroth's, that ability. It does make a lot of sense. It's like a better Mayhem Devil, I guess. I don't like it. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, we're not dead yet, but we certainly have to make something happen soon. At the very least, they can't kill Vaultborn Tyrant, which, well, that was good for us, but also quite good. We have 2 Archdruid's Charms. We can take out Sephiroth quite nicely, and we'll try to do that. Of course, whenever we use Archdruid's Charm to take it out, they will start the cycle of doing their cat stuff. Oh, okay. I'll wait and see what they put back into their hand, but definitely we'll try and take them out. Oh, 100% nickels, definitely. But I don't have too many small creatures, so it's... yeah, does the trick. I'm glad I don't have to worry too much about all the removal that the small stuff normally has to worry about. It's big stuff, it survives. Sometimes the opponent has to double up on removal if it's damage based, or they just have to pay extra. It's alright. It's alright. We're being drained a fair bit, but Sephiroth at the very least is simply gone. We'll probably search for, I think, another Vaultborn Tyrant next turn. Putting the stops at the second and the end again, just to make sure I get no more oopsies. No more oopsies. Not sure why they did that. They could have sacrificed the food, but... huh. Okay. I don't mind too much. My clock is running down now. Crazy. But I think I'm pretty sure that Vaultborn should do the trick. Of course, I could search for Ghalta, but I want to get supercharged with the Vaultborn triggers, and especially just because this opponent is... well, we're at 8. They can drain us, ping us a lot. And it's not fun. We could die. Of course, they don't have a whole lot of anything, so I think we should be pretty safe. Gaining at least 6 a turn now is pretty decent. I feel I think we can almost guarantee that the opponent is not going to be able to kill us next turn, being at 14 here. They are exiling the top card of the library. Oh, okay. Okay. Deadly Dispute. Drawing 2 cards and making a treasure, I think it is, yes. But still, no matter what they get, I think we're relatively safe, especially because we have Vaultborn Tyrant still able to block. If they do have destroy-based removal, they won't use it on a Vaultborn. Oh, and they got another one. That's not good. I still don't think they can drain us. Yeah. Make your blood tokens, your foods, your treasures. Definitely. Big T-Rex coming up. The Vault, also being a lot of big creatures, I don't have to worry usually about chump blockers from the opponent. Quite nice indeed. Everything just goes right through because it has trample. That's always very appreciated. Okay, 9, that's not bad. Yeah, they can't do it. Oh, watch me get Ghalta. Ghalta for the win. Oh, we got a Ghalta for the win. Done. Cooked. See you later. Now, where's the... yeah. When nature calls, run.
But you can't do this to me. You know how much I sacrificed?
All right. Do I want to keep the Tarrasque in? Maybe. Cease and desist? Not too helpful. I have to imagine Cease and Desist is probably certainly a little bit more helpful than the Tarrasque in this matchup. And I kept the Tarrasque in for the first 2 games, so we'll do Cease and Desist. I have cast Desist. Some of you guys might have seen that game where I got to 6, and it was also against a Sacrifice deck. A little bit different than this one. But I destroyed all artifacts and enchantments, so that could be something that we see. Yeah. The oven, the cats, or even targeting something that they're maybe going to reanimate or at least bring back to their hand with Takenuma, I think it is. Paying 4 to mill some cards, get some stuff back. Could be nice. Oh! Oh!
No.
Okay. Stomped them, crushed them so bad in game 2. Perhaps, they didn't want to come back. They're already in Mythic. You can't drop out of Mythic, and maybe they just were, move on to the next one. Maybe they didn't have a lot of patience. Hard to say. Maybe they just wanted to go to bed. We'll never know. But hopefully, we do face off against Azorius Control at least once tonight. That would be good. I think it did. I think it did. Such massive... maybe I tilted them. It would be cool if I could talk to my opponent and find out why. Of course, I get upset and perhaps a little flustered at times, especially facing aggro back to back to back. But I don't know. I think it's reasonable to use those emotes and those little lines when nature calls, run. It's just, it's a fun thing. It's not like I'm saying the oops. I'm not spamming the oops emote. Nothing like that. But this could be Azorius. If it is, good. Absolutely fantastic hand. Looking for 3 green, of course. Regisaur Alpha is not a source of green. Could be so. Oh, that's not Azorius Control with that swamp. They're playing funny business on me, making me think it's going to be Azorius Control with the Teferi avatar. Oftentimes that can indicate Azorius, but not so. Of course, a swamp can mean a whole lot of things. Archdruid's Charm, it was rough to lose, but that is vindication. Getting the Sunken Citadel off the top. We're on track to play Carnage Tyrant. Oh, it's just mono black. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hopefully Carnage Tyrant scares them a fair bit. Wonder if they're going to play Unholy Annex. Graveyard Trespasser. Oh my goodness, they played Unholy Annex after playing Blade of the Oni. Oh man, this is craziness. But it's nice to get Carnage Tyrant down. Somebody that is a little bit hard to kill, and also even nicer to see that Stomping Ground. As long as they don't have hand hate, we will be getting the Vaultborn Tyrant next turn, and if Carnage Tyrant tapping 4 lands doesn't send them for a loop, I have to think the Vaultborn Tyrant is gonna, mouse over all those lands. Yep, you're wondering how I hacked the system. The math is not adding up. Take your time, work it through. Oh yeah, Hatcher actually is quite fantastic. Again, going to the point of Palani's Hatcher being 3 bodies in 1. That alone, amazing. The 1 dinosaur egg, the 1 you hatch, plus Palani's herself. Whew. Mutavault's going to make... Oh, no, they don't need to do that. Okay. They wanted to hold Blade of the Oni and Graveyard Trespasser back to block Carnage Tyrant. Fine by me. I'll attack with it. If I take out Blade of the Oni and Graveyard Trespasser, I don't mind. But definitely, I still felt good, especially with the opponent not attacking, not dealing any damage to me. I'll try and see if they do what I think they're going to do, which I think that's... Oh, interesting. I assume that's why they didn't attack. Hard to say. Leyline of the Veil, Shieldred's Edict, that would be pretty fine by me right now. I would sacrifice Vaultborn, get a copy. Good.
Oh no! Anyway.
Because it's destroy based and not exile, I do get, again, the copy of it. And now, with that Stomping Ground, if I draw Ghalta, they die. Boom. Love it. Yeah, but that's... We'll get Palani's Hatcher again. Going back to the point of... Yeah. I think they're... Well, keep in mind, this is a Mythic opponent. I think most people in Mythic probably won't make that mistake. Of course, you never know. I have to imagine the Gifted Aetherborn is going to be trading with Carnage Tyrant. We'll see. That dinosaur token trades with every creature the opponent currently has out. That's pretty amazing as well. It's fine. I have tons. Possibly. I could play the Tarrasque. This could be the first time we see it hard casted. But it's been quite some time since an opponent has made the mistake of trying to fatal push Vaultborn Tyrant. They can only take out a creature with a mana value up to 4. Vaultborn Tyrant retains the mana value of 7 of the original. Land untap. Let's go. Tarrasque. It's Tarrasque's time. The Terror. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's do it. Land. Oh boy. They're going to quit. Surprise.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Never apologize. Oh, 10-10 haste ward, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. Yeah, who do I want to fight? Blade of the Oni, I guess. One less blocker from the opponent. When nature calls, run. How many fatal pushes did they do? Well, they didn't discard any fatal pushes. But still, they could have 2 fatal pushes in their hand that are mostly useless. The only creature that fatal push can take out is a 3/3 dinosaur token. That's pretty good if that's the only thing in the deck. I think it's mostly impossible for them to win. I'm not sure what they could have up their sleeve, but... Sweeper, maybe? Okay. Maybe they have a quest that wants them to cast a bunch of spells that are black or black and white, that sort of thing, so they could be working through that. Maybe they're also just stunned, and that's simply why they haven't conceded, or they just want to play it out and, yeah, be dealt a lot of big dino damage. Do I like that? I kind of like the... You know what? Let's go T-Rex. We played the Tarrasque. But back-to-back would be quite interesting for sure, but this is also good. Very good. Yeah. More lands. More lands the better. Get another Sunken Citadel just to maximize Castle Garenbrig there. Able to activate its ability now with only the 2 Sunkens and, of course, the castle itself. Wonder if they're going to fail to push one of the tokens or quit. Oh, yep, I think they were stunned. Keep it in? Yeah, you know what? Again, it's a little bit more on the fun side of things tonight, so we'll keep in the Tarrasque there. The terror of the Tarrasque. I guess the pose that Teferi is making is actually kind of appropriate. It's just like the hand out, like kind of a, what just happened? What's going on? Yeah. Flabbergasted. What is this? Yeah, it's... If I take out 2 creatures and also still deal a little bit of damage to the opponent, yeah, I'll take that any day. Especially, let's say it's Vaultborn Tyrant. It enters, I draw a card, gain 3 life, attack, 2 people block it, and then I take those creatures out, but then I also get the token the first time it dies, gain 3 more life, draw a card. Absolutely amazing. Also kind of like that hand. You got hand hate? Oh boy. See how much I care. Also, nice to have Ghalta. Hopefully, of course, the draws go a little bit better for us coming up here. But also because of the Archdruid's charms, I know I'm going to get to 3 next turn, but also the opponent has the potential of land destruction, Field of Ruin specifically. I could see him taking out Castle Garenbrig, a Graveyard Trespasser. Not that bad, but we don't want Graveyard Trespasser to flip. So we will cast Archdruid's Charm on our turn. Of course, instant speed, you can cast it at any time, yours or the opponent's. But just to make it so the Graveyard Trespasser doesn't flip, that's why we cast it now. If we didn't, we'd be attacked with a 4/4, and well, a 3/3 is better than a 4/4. Maybe the opponent would opt to cast nothing, just so it flips on my turn. I could see that happening. Or just Shieldred. It might be Shieldred. Okay, I'll get rid of a Sylvan Scrying. It's the benefit of being as flooded as I am. I guess, I'd get rid of a forest. I might use a Sylvan Scrying quite a bit later. Nah, so Sylvan Scrying. Hopefully it's a Vaultborn Tyrant. Hopefully it's somebody that I can play. I'll probably try to take out Leyline of the Veil. I guess I won't be taking out much of anybody. Archdruid's Charm. We're going to grab the Vaultborn Tyrant. I like that. And then we go Commercial District. We see what's on top. If it's a land, it's... Oh, well, don't need that. We want to hopefully draw some creature next turn. I don't think we'll be dead. The opponent has a long way to go with us only be... that's not good. But we still get to play Vaultborn Tyrant, and it's still going to be, I think, a fairly uphill battle for them. Yeah. Forest sounds good to me. But they could also just be dead. I get a Regisaur Alpha, they're dead. They're at 20, and they're wide open. Well, not exactly what I wanted to see. But we have 2 big things. Yeah. I think we'll still get them. And the Tarrasque, which I can hard cast next turn, yeah.
I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice.
DJC, how's it going? Hopefully all is well with you. Better for you than what the opponent might be about to feel. Yeah. Make me sacrifice the Vaultborn. Kill the Vaultborn. Give me 3 more life and a card. Yeah, do it. Do your -2. Oh, maybe they will try to fail to push it. I don't think that's the case. They might just use some piece of removal, and then Vaultborn is completely gone. But we're back up to a pretty healthy 14. Oh, fantastic stuff hitting Mythic. A Brawl. Maybe I'll try Brawl again sometime soon. Rotations are definitely going to change things up quite a bit, especially with the rotations being long, a little bit late for that. That's not when you're supposed to use it. Of course, they could have just drawn it, but yeah. Ooh, 2. I don't even know what to press.
Kind of talk to him. Yeah, go ahead. Come on, we'll give you a table.
But I do got to admit, Brawl, even though it is not as consistent as this, you can have 4 of, each card. Brawl being a singleton format, you get to see a lot of different stuff. So I do appreciate that part. Oh, good. I haven't watched. I don't think I might have seen maybe one of his movies. Oh, we got a T-Rex. I like that. I like that indeed. Do I think they're going to have 1 piece of removal so that Liliana of the Veil doesn't go down? I'm sending both because I expect 1 piece of unconditional removal. I want to make sure Liliana of the Veil goes down. And the way to make that happen is, boom, send everything. I attack with 1 Ghalta, they use removal on Ghalta. If I attack with just Vaultborn, they use... Oh, look at that. There we go. So I would have lost the Vaultborn. Basically, I would have dealt some damage to the opponent, but they wouldn't have been dead. Liliana would have still been up there with a -2. Ugh, not great. Hopefully T-Rex is enough to kind of scare him. Sadly, we are taking 5, more than 5. Graveyard Trespasser does have a little bit to exile from the graveyard, so we will lose some life. Another Vaultborn Tyrant certainly would have been ideal. Oh boy. Two, you know what? Go big, go home, attack him. Smack him, attack him, get the job done. If I didn't attack with T-Rex, there's a very real possibility they simply would have made me sacrifice it, or just kill it. They have enough to pay the ward cost, if the removal costs 2. I could top deck another T-Rex, it could be Archdruids, and I could still play T-Rex, which would be quite nice. Commune to dig for a second T-Rex, but I don't think they can deal 8. Good. I was pretty sure they could only deal 6. Graveyard Trespasser attacking, draining me for 1. Total of 4 there, plus the Mutavault. You have to be a little bit worried. Oh, okay. Well, Palani's Hatcher, that is quite nice indeed. Hopefully the multiple bodies is enough to really help us. I think it could be. We'll see. I also think that, yeah, they got that removal for T-Rex, don't you? I mean, if you want to spend 6 to take out one of my creatures, just 1, that's okay. They might actually take out Palani's before Palani's hatches a dino. No, that wouldn't make sense. Huh. I wonder. I'll still attack with Tyrranax Rex and draw out that piece of removal for 6 or whatever, if that is what they have. Get out of their system, do what you gotta do. Okay. Another murderous rat. 7. Hey. They paid 7 to kill T-Rex. You go right ahead. Of course, the Graveyard Glutton can't attack. Won't attack. If Palani's Hatcher is able to simply trade with it, I don't think that would make a ton of sense. I could draw an Archdruid's Charm next turn, the Commune, a wide variety of things, although we are going down to 2. An Unholy Annex, and they turn Mutavault into a creature would get the job done, unfortunately. Or they just kill Palani's. No. Oh, okay. Vaultborn Tyrant next turn. We could draw Vaultborn, Archdruids to get Vaultborn, Commune to dig for it, or another T-Rex. Yeah, they're just going to play both their murderous riders, unfortunately. Oh, okay. Oh, it's rough. All right. Scary. Yeah. Down to 1. We need a Vaultborn. At least. That's not a Vaultborn. Ugh. Pretty darn flooded there, but yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. I made him work for it. Definitely. All right. But situations like that, at least I find it pretty easy to stay positive, just because it could be Vaultborn, it could be Commune to dig for something big, Archdruids. Because the game had gone on so long, I could cast Archdruids, search for any creature in my library, and still have enough to play it. So, combining all those possible cards that I could have drawn, yeah, there's a reasonable chance I'm going to see that Vaultborn, or whatever creature I'm looking for. If the opponent was at 8, they were only at 4 poison counters. The T-Rex possibly could have gotten the job done. They would have gotten to enough. As long as T-Rex connects with 1 point of damage, they get the 4 more poison counters. Oh, that's hand's not going to do it though. Nothing to search for those lands. Oh, that's like the same hand, but worse. Strictly. That's slightly better. Worse. Okay. Yeah, no, that's sometimes it's all garbage hands until you have to put until you have to put 5 to the bottom. At that point, good luck. But those times happen. Okay. Nope, that's not going to cut it. I mean, it's better. I didn't have to mulligan, 4 or 5 times. Certainly going to be my keeper. We see the Castle Garenbrig. Anyway, we're making 6. Able to play that Carnage Tyrant on turn 4. In the commercial district, of course, with the Surveil. See if there's something nice on top that might help us get that Castle Garenbrig. Or it might be Castle Garenbrig itself. Okay, that Cavern of Souls could be good. Oh, speaking of, we got it. But this could be Dimir blue and black rogues or something. At the very least, I got 3 green, and we have to wait for an opening. Play something. Play your Unholy Annex. Flash in your rogue. I do nothing until you do something. Play anything. Come on. Spend 2. Spend 3. Patience is a virtue. There we go. Able to make 7, and the thing we play can't be countered. All right. Grooms, the Timeless Witness. I have to imagine the Timeless Witness title is probably because they're playing that format. Grixis. Huh. Battle at the Big Bridge. That's a big nothing. Excuse me. I get this commune out of the... Oh, my goodness. Well, we got a Vaultborn Tyrant, which I like. Hopefully they don't have anything that sacrifices stuff. They see the Carnage. They know the Vaultborn's going to happen. We got Palani's Regisaur. It's a lot of you-know-what.
Ruthless aggression.
Absolutely ruthless. So, I don't know. What would this be? Because it might not be what I think it's going to be. Grixis Control, Grixis Midrange. It could be something that's looking to sacrifice that goblin or sacrifice some sort of token. Cheating out something big. Could be Indomitable Creativity or... Yeah, I don't know. Huh. Bounce or kill it. Yeah, no, that's fine by me. Make a copy. Good. And hopefully it's not one of those decks cheating stuff out. I feel like it might not be. But it might be creativity right now. Targeting that goblin. The goblin plus the treasure. They do have enough to do that, but... Well, then they have one less thing they can target. Now, I guess they will target Fable of the Mirror Breaker as well. Yeah, hopefully they don't hit anything too big. I think that's it, yeah? Oh, that was Meat Hook Massacre. I never would have guessed we would see that, but hey, you go right ahead. Search for my land for the turn, forced, of course, to get the lovely Palani's Hatcher down. The opponent, of course, could fatal push the egg that I crack, but they don't have a whole lot. Especially if this is what it seems to be. Just Grixis Midrange. Well, Grixis Control. They haven't really played too many creatures that I can see. But yeah, definitely was fine. I got more stuff ready and waiting. And I still have a Palani's. Keep using your mana. Do what you gotta do. Oh, you're gonna try and fail to push Palani's? Don't do it. Well, actually do it. That would be a little bit late. Ooh, I'm playing something good. Watch out. Yeah, I'm eventually gonna get to the Tarrasque. Oh. Man, good stuff. But I think we keep it as is. Again, I didn't see the names on the tip of my tongue. It exiles a creature for 4. I should know this. They exile a creature for 4, and then they get to play a creature. They exile cards from the top until they hit a creature, and the only creatures that they can hit are big creatures. Nasty creatures. Oh, Transmogrify. There we go. I think I need to drink more coffee, definitely. But yeah, Transmogrify or Indomitable Creativity, which does a sort of similar thing. Indomitable Creativity, though, oftentimes getting more than one big thing, sometimes even 3 big things in one go. But it definitely appears to be just a general Grixis good stuff. I'm pretty sure they're going to prioritize the hand hate. They got a lot of counter spells, which I'm well versed in, so no worries there. Got the Cavern, of course, and the lovely T-Rexes and Carnage Tyrant. Speaking of, well, it's not a good hand, but don't let this be the previous match. Oh, okay, yeah, one land, no lands. Okay. I don't even know what to press.
Dang! Oh!
Yeah, I do despise that stuff, but yeah, sometimes it's one land, no lands, and you just gotta pack it in, and you just have to go to a completely new game, and there you go. 6 mana. Doesn't matter what hand hate you have. Good stuff. Yeah, maybe. You know what? We'll keep Regisaur Alpha just in case. I feel pretty good about our chances. Oh shoot. Get rid of the Sylvan Scryings and the Archdruid's charms. Oh wait. There's none in my hand. I think they might get, I don't know. That's a tough one. It's all pretty scary stuff. It's not like there's an absolute easy thing they should choose. I guess if anything, yeah, Carnage Tyrant. It does make sense. Okay, good old Fable. Yeah. Good old Archdruid's Charm. Okay. Of course, they could have a counter spell. That would be rough. Huh? They might have it. They might hold the mana up, untap next turn. But, if we could kill them next turn. I don't think that's going to happen. They see my hand. They know Ghalta can enter the battlefield. But they also know T-Rex can. Sadly, it seemed like they were flooded, but Fable of the Mirror Breaker with its second lore counter, fantastically allowing the opponent to sculpt their hand, get rid of stuff they don't have. Oh, Kefka, what's that do? You tapped out to play that. Why would I care? Huh. When nature calls, run. Because that's a whole lot of damage. You can't run fast enough to survive this. Boom.
You have no power here.
I think the algorithm took pity on me. Yeah, there we go. Whew. Fantastic stuff. Of course, I wish I was in Mythic faster, and I haven't played nearly as much as I normally do, but it's still a very busy time, and it's getting closer and closer to when Mr. Buddy number 2 is going to be here. My son in less than a month. Crazy stuff. Yes, Mad Dad Lab, a fantastic game. 11:10 p.m. my time, so I think we'll leave it there about an hour or so. And again, don't forget to take a big bite out of that like button, and I will be somewhat sparse for about the next week as I take a break off, relax at a trailer on the beach a little bit, but try to post as much as I can, do as much as I can, and hopefully everybody stays cool, get some good rest. Absolutely. Have a good rest of your time zone, and hope to see you again. Peace. I'm going to do the ending clip. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it right this time. I'm not messing it up like the other night. Okay.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic. This is,
Ruthless aggression.
What do you mean you've seen this? It's brand new.